Dr. Belfry, reporting pediatrics. Dr. Belfry, reporting pediatrics.
Amy, if anyone needs me, I'm going to be at this address. It's the first house call I've made in 15 years.
You gotta be kidding. You mean the president's in town?
Maybe a little higher up than that. How about Victor Jerome?
He's the head of a mob. Isn't he kind of scary?
Well, he's just as bad as any other middle-aged patient with a bad heart. He's scared enough to do whatever we tell him to do. Oh.
Don't all men do what you tell them to, Aunt Monica?
Well, no, not these days. They don't.
Well, I'll do what you say if you just give me a little of your time.
Fortunately, I can't. I have an appointment.
I'm having the dickens of a time setting up the computer categories for the surgical files. The medical lingo really has me stumped.
Get a dictionary.
You know, I may not be a world-famous heart surgeon, but I do know a whole bunch of really impressive medical terms.
Well, thanks, but I'm afraid my aunt is the only one that can help me at the moment.
Dr. Bowman, 74OR, Dr. Bowman.
Look, I'm simply trying to get this snake I brought in identified. Right. Well, can't you call him out in the field? This evening. Can I depend on you for that? All right, thank you.
What went wrong this time?
You want the long list or the short one?
Oh, the short list will do fine.
Well, I'm trying to get this bloody snake I brought in verified as to what kind it is. Turns out this wretched doctor's now shot off on a field trip to look for some extinct lizard. I mean, I could have gone over to the library, got a book, and done the job 5 times by now.
Why don't I get a guy to overdo that?
There's not much point. He's got the snake, or rather what's left of it. So what turned up over at Lavery's?
Nothing. They were having work done outside, so there's a bunch of workmen's prints and all the different flower beds.
Anything strange about that?
No, they all checked out clean. I'll tell you, Robert, I went behind forensics. We did it twice, looking for anything. Thread from cloth, hair, different footprint, flake of skin, anything.
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder whether our wandering snake didn't just wander into the wrong bedroom.
It's my hunch that's what it's supposed to look like.
Where a pregnant Anna Lavery just happened to be sleeping.
You know, she's really something. I know a lot of pregnant women, they would have lost the kid over a thing like this.
Cross my heart, these cookies are specially baked for pregnant ladies who've been traumatized by snakes. It was Polish lady's recipe, Mrs. Whatever, I can't pronounce her name.
Fine. We won, didn't we?
Yeah. You were Madam Cool all through it.
Well, I did drop my gun, but I don't think the snake knew. I think I terrified the poor little thing, actually.
Well, if I was on the floor and you dropped your gun, you'd terrify me, too.
Point is, you're making much too much fuss about this.
No, the point is, I'll decide what's much too much fuss. I know from experience you have a very good habit of faking it just to please me.
What else?
Well, there was a threat in your life, whether it failed or not. Probably more diabolical, and let's hope not successful.
Well, we're ready for them.
My goodness. What did I do to deserve such a marvelous woman?
You're right. I am.
What?
Marvelous?
That's
Tell them
probably
to go
Robert.
away.
Hello, Duke.
What the hell are you doing here? Not here. I don't want you inside my house.
Don't let your anger toward me blind you. We have important family business. Anna, how are you?
Great. And isn't it a little chilly out there? Why don't you come in?
I'm sorry to disturb you at home. But I had to see you about the meeting last night.
There was no meeting last night.
I know you and Anna have no secrets from each other when it comes to family affairs. But we need to talk about why the bosses didn't show up.
What a shame that is. I mean, you set up this meeting for the gangs and it just doesn't come through. Why, sit down and tell us about it.
It was on schedule before Robert Scorpio came to see me.
Robert Scorpio knew there was a meeting.
He didn't say. He did say he knew I was Victor Jerome's daughter, and that he thought I was here on mob business, and that he wouldn't tolerate that in his town. Oh, and Anna, he was very forceful. I can see why you were so attracted to him.
Yeah, he's good at his job, isn't he? What else did he say?
It's obvious he's wired into what we're doing. He knew about the summit.
How did he know?
All I know is the word went out over the grapevine and the bosses stayed away. I called some of them to warn them, and it wasn't necessary. They'd already gone home.
Do you think somebody informed the police there was going to be a meeting?
I don't know what else to think.
And you think somebody informed the bosses that the police had been informed?
It could be the same person, posing as a double agent, trying to cause trouble for you.
So this informer, who do you think he is?
He or she. I mean, you know, it could be me. Seriously, I have no idea. It would be like throwing darts in the dark to accuse someone now.
Well, I know. One person. Two people. But it certainly is not.
Well, of course. But you see why I had to see you in private with no eyes or ears in the walls. You do have this place checked regularly for bugs, I assume.
Yeah, I should get the pest control in more often, though.
Duke, you can't trust anyone. Except for Anna, of course.
I told you before, and your father, Anna's out of the business forever.
Forever is a very long time. But Anna, you do look very radiant. No one would ever expect you were pregnant.
But it's not a disease. One's supposed to look like this. I agree with what Duke said. You know, we were thrilled when your father offered us that position, but since the baby, I'm out. It's all his now.
We will be able to work together, won't we?
Yes, of course. Why don't you reschedule the meeting and let me know the time and place as soon as it's been confirmed?
I know what to do. With scorpio breathing down my neck, I must get back to New York.
Yeah, I understand. Telephones still work from there, don't they?
Yes, and I'm going to see my father before I leave.
Give him my regards, please.
Well, I will. He'll be very pleased to hear from you. And Anna, please continue to look well. Having babies obviously agrees with you.
Oh, obviously, yeah. Oh, we'll look after ourselves.
Of course you will, with Duke looking after you. I'll see myself out. Goodbye.
I could strangle her. I want to strangle her. I mean, she's mad.
I don't know. She's bad, so I don't know what to think about her.
What's she up to? I mean, do you think there is another informer?
I don't know. I wouldn't believe her if she told me her eyes were blue.
She's going to do something.
Well, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether she can call another meeting. I don't know whether she ever did. I don't know what she's up to.
I really don't believe this. I have never, ever seen any one person buy so many clothes in one day.
Get out of here. What do you mean you haven't seen anybody? Honey, how many times am I getting married? I'm getting married once, and I can't get married in all those old, horrible things. I've got to have a new wardrobe.
It's a good thing you married Sean, because not every man could afford you.
Honey, I have never wasted my time with men who couldn't afford me, you know what I mean? Money isn't everything, but it certainly does give a man a lot of character.
I believe it.
Well, what is it? The saying goes, loving well is the best revenge. Or living well is the best revenge, or...
Oh, same
thing. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, I want what I want and when I want it. Right
and
now.
right now,
yes, exactly.
You want the splashiest wedding in Port Charles history.
You got that right, sweetheart. You know, Port Charles needs a little fire to get their romance going and their glamour and their glitz again. Shoot, Shirley, you're not going to believe. When I came to this town, it was nothing but a red factory town with a bunch of oversized slums and dilapidated old port.
It seems to me it still is a factory town with oversized slums and a dilapidated port.
Doesn't change much. That's how come it's up to me, sweetheart. I have to give it the glamour and the sophistication that it needs. Oh, honey, this wedding is going to knock their socks off. Honey, they're going to look in the dictionary after this is over, and they're going to see elegant, and right next to it's going to be my picture. Oh, can you imagine all those people at home?
Which brings up a very interesting subject.
Yeah?
People at home. Are you going to invite some of those people, like Mother and Daddy?
Mother to my wedding? And Daddy? What are you, out of your cotton picking mind?
We weren't expecting you because Dr. Addison was here and gave Victor a thorough checkup.
I know, and I did talk to Dr. Addison, and he's quite amazed at the progress Mr. Jerome has made. No, Miss St. John had a few questions. She asked me to come by.
Oh, Olivia?
Yes.
What sort of questions?
About Mr. Jerome's mental condition. Now, Dr. Addison, he didn't find anything wrong whatsoever. It's just Miss St. John felt that her father was acting a bit peculiar.
Peculiar?
Yeah.
Well, in what way?
Well, a bit disoriented or confused about names, dates, you know, that sort of thing.
What does a heart attack have to do with the mind?
Well, if there's any further clogging of the arteries that supply the blood to the brain...
Well, Olivia is imagining these things. I'm sure she's concerned about Victor and she worries too much.
Well, let's just hope that's all it is.
But don't take my word for it. Come and see for yourself.
All right, you're quite sure I'm not interrupting anything?
Oh, no. Victor actually would love a visitor. Just a minute, please.
Who are you talking to out there?
That was Dr. Quartermain. Olivia sent her over.
Olivia sent her? What the hell for?
She told the doctor that she's worried about your mental health. That you have been disoriented and confused since your heart attack.
She said that.
You heard me?
You spend your life dedicated to raising a daughter, and it comes to this.
Victor, she's such a bad seed. She is so bad.
Olivia wants to prove that I'm incompetent so she can gain total control over the Jerome family. But that she would try and fool Dr. Quartermain. I can't believe she'd be that stupid.
So what are you going to do?
With Olivia, I'll decide later. Listen, for now, bring in the lovely Dr. Quartermain. I'll settle the matter of my competency right now. Confused, huh? Disoriented? Damn her.
It's not a case of looking for a needle. We can't even find a haystack.
Listen, if anything had been found by my men out there, it would be in that report.
Scorpio.
Robert, slavery. Any update on the snake?
Sorry. It seems that I failed to impress the good doctor regarding the urgency of this situation. He's gone hiking for the day.
Well, isn't there anybody else that you can ask?
He's it. He said he's going to call me back this evening. Either that or I'm going to send some whaling squad cars into his driveway at 2 in the morning.
Well, at the same time, I suggest you get another whaling squad car to escort Olivia St. John right out of town.
I'm sure she's long gone by now, after the conversation we had last night.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but the lady left here not half an hour ago.
What the hell did she want?
She seemed quite startled to see that Anna was walking around safely. She mentioned that you'd been rather firm with her.
Did she say what she plans to do about that?
Well, she said she was leaving tonight, but she's going to visit with her father first.
I'll get a couple of plainclothes men to make sure that she evacuates town as agreed. Thank you for the tip, though.
You gonna be there for a little while?
Yeah, until the doctor calls.
Good. I've decided that there's something I want to tell you. It's very important. I want to tell you in person.
Well, is this animal, vegetable, or mineral?
You'll find out when I get there. I was about half an hour.
I'll be here.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, are you going to tell me, or do I have to guess?
You don't have to guess. I'll tell you. I'm sick to death of Olivia's dangerous threats. I'm sick and tired of her father and all his brainless thugs. They can all go to hell as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and that is the idea. At least to jail, anyway.
Well, that's up to Robert. But you can do it without me. And I've got to be realistic about this. For as long as you and I are involved with the mob, there's going to be no safety for you, for me, for Robin, or for our baby. So now we are out, period, okay?
Out of the mob?
Out of the mob and also out of the country as quickly as we can get packed. We're getting as far away from here as possible.